Welcome back to the Padilla Family Homestead. We have quite a few projects that I need to get done. I have 2 hours before I need to leave the house for work, so I have got to get a move on. First thing up is I got cinnamon. This is Ceylon cinnamon. It's fresh from whatever country it came from, and I need to toast this, 1, to get the best flavor, 2, to make sure that it's pretty much sanitized. So I'm going to get stuff out to get this started before we start the next project. So I have my oven set to 300, and I'm going to go ahead and get these cinnamon sticks out. So cassia cinnamon is what we see a lot of times in Christmas decorations. It's a thicker roll of cinnamon bark, basically, and you don't see as many layers. It's usually just 1 layer. Ceylon cinnamon has the multiple layers in it, and I buy mine from my vanilla co-op, where I get my vanilla from. I went ahead and I bought 5 ounces of cinnamon. I'm going to toast them, let them cool down. We'll store them whole and toasted, and then when I'm ready to ground some, I will grind some. But they do these orders. This is a really cool stick. They do these orders 1 time a year, and they have, so most of what they do is different vanilla beans from different countries. But they do the Ceylon cinnamon, they do wild Madagascar peppercorns, and saffron, and I think there's been a couple other ones. So they have branched into a few different spices. I got this before and I loved it. I spilled some of it, which was very sad and heartbreaking for me. But I'm going to go ahead and get this in the oven once it hits the 300 and let it toast for 10 minutes, killing whatever's in it, enhancing the flavors, and I'm going to go ahead and start on the next project. I want to make sure I'm really wiped down good here, because I'm actually going to use this as my cutting board right now. I need to actually do some sealing on this again, oil it up. I've been using and abusing it. My next project is pumpkin. I'm so excited. My house is going to smell like fall so much right now. So we have a very cool week right now. It's false fall, and oh, is my heart so happy. It started today. We're going to be about 69 degrees as our high. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then we're going to be jumping around the 70s and upper 70s to upper 60s all week this week. And I want pumpkin. I want pumpkin soup. And I want all the goodness. So we have not restocked our pureed pumpkin. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this roasted. That's what I'm going to do today. And if I have time, I'll make a batch of pumpkin soup, but the rest of this will get put in the fridge and I will carry on with it another day. So we used to buy all kinds of canned pumpkin, between pumpkin pie filling or just pureed pumpkin for all kinds of things. During this time of the season, you need pumpkin puree for cookies and bread and coffee creamers and all the things pumpkin. And we found that adds up in price very quickly, in that this is an easy way that I can save money, is by roasting my own pumpkin and making my own pumpkin puree, which is literally roasted pumpkin blended up. So this is just an idea. If you've never made your own pumpkin puree, you have a bunch of pumpkin recipes coming up. Oh, Look at how pretty that is. I love it. You can roast your own pumpkin seeds out of this. You can do all kinds of things. I don't think I'm going to do the seeds today. There might be a part 2 to this video for what I do on Wednesday with the rest of this, unless I do some of it tomorrow night. So the timer just beeped. I'm going to pop these in. So some people may think I'm crazy that I get this into fall this early. Here's the deal though. Fall is coming, and anytime you are home cooking, home preparing, you're a crafter, if you are a DIY person, you have to have things ready in advance. There may be a time that a company comes over and I want to have pumpkin muffins. Or it's really hot out and I want to make squash soup or pumpkin soup, but I don't want to run the oven really. And so if I have pumpkin pureed and ready to use, then I'm more likely to still use homemade pumpkin puree than I am to go to the store and buy a can of pumpkin. And there are times where I'm still going to do that. I have done that this year already. But if I can make it homemade and get things set up for it, why not? And this doesn't take a long time to do. It is just having something prepared, making your job easier, to where the day that you want to make muffins, you don't have to cut open a pumpkin, roast it, then puree it, and then make your muffins. Or the day you want to make soup, that you don't have to roast the pumpkin and then puree it down, season it, and make your soup. So that's why I like to get this stuff done ahead of time, before the season. It's the same reason why I start my vanilla extract a year in advance from when I want to use it, because it needs a year to brew, right? If it comes to Christmas and I'm like, oh, I want to make all this stuff and I want to give away homemade vanilla extract, well, I needed to have done that the year before, which I am not doing that this year. But that's just an idea of something. Or if you want to give away crocheted scarves to people for Christmas, you need to start crocheting early, or whatever the craft is, right? Like, you have to give yourself time to do it, time to burn out from it, and then time to do it again and to finish it up. And so those are my tips, and why people kind of do things early, why craft stores put things out early, why stores will put things out early. There is a natural season for pumpkin. There is a reason why pumpkin and apple and persimmon are more fall style flavors, because that's when these things are ripe. People use pumpkin all winter long because pumpkins grow all summer, and then you harvest them and then you can store them. And they are good stored, depending on the variety of pumpkin, can be for most of the winter. And so that's why you have these savory winter squash dishes to use. The other thing is, you can use almost any squash to make squash soup or pumpkin soup. Pumpkin is a squash, but squash isn't a type of pumpkin. Pumpkin is a type of squash. Squash is the overarching. So you have zucchini as a type of squash. It happens to be a summer squash. If you let it go and grow and get super big and it's a big baby, then it can probably be stored for longer, which I don't think it's quite a winter squash, but so be it. An acorn squash, a butternut squash, a pumpkin. These are all winter squashes because they have storage life to them. I'm going to try to make cleanup somewhat easy. And line the pan with parchment. So my goal here is I need this to fit in here. Is this just going to fit? Oh, that's beautiful. That is so little work. Okay. That doesn't happen that often. Normally I'd have to slice this and get this to wedge in correctly, but we're just going to roll with this. So I am going to take this and stab some holes all the way through them. This concept is like stabbing a potato before you microwave it. I don't want this to create a suction basically, and I want steam to be able to come out, for the moisture to be able to come out and so forth. Let's not take off my hand though. So I'm going to go ahead and just stab some holes in this. This feels very buttery. I hope this pumpkin tastes good. I haven't used this variety. I honestly don't know what the variety is. I got it from a farm stand. Alright. So this is ready to go in the oven now. If all I was going to use this for was soup, I could flip this over, add some oil, add some spices, have them get toasted and roasted with this squash in the oven. But I'm not just using this for soup. I'm going to use it for baking. I'm going to use it for all kinds of stuff. And so I'm not going to add any oil to it. I'm just going to let it do its own thing. I'm not adding any seasoning to it. I want to be able to do all of that for each of those individual dishes. We have about 30 seconds until that cinnamon's done. So these will go in, the cinnamon will come out, and then we will get ready for the next project. Okay, cinnamon is out. I'm going to change that oven to about 425 because I want to be able to pop other things in with this when it's roasting. Well, I can't fit anything else in with those. So hopefully those roast up pretty quickly because I still need to get bread in, but that does change projects a little bit because I was hoping to roast some chicken while I was roasting those. These smell great. It's not overpowering the cinnamon, but they smell delicious. So I have, let's see if I have it handy. I have a coffee grinder purely for spices. So this actually is coated in cinnamon. So that's what I would grind that down in. And then I have this same brand of coffee maker but white for my coffee. So I'm going to go ahead and separate out these pumpkin seeds the best I can. I'm probably not going to do all of them. My husband has a broken tooth right now, and he's the one who loves roasted pumpkin seeds. But I'm probably going to make some. So I'm not going to be able to do all the other projects I wanted to, because of time. It is what it is. I had to run this morning and do an errand, and so that got me started about an hour later than I wanted. So I'm going to finish out this pumpkin. I'm hopefully going to make a version of my pumpkin soup, so I have that for lunch at work, depending on when this pumpkin gets done. And then I have to pop in the focaccia that I have rising, and make sure that I bake that before I go as well, because we'll have pumpkin soup and focaccia for dinner, which sounds amazing. I'm hoping it actually gives a good rain today. We're supposed to have rain. It's sprinkled a little bit, but it hasn't started downpouring yet. But tomorrow, I don't think we're supposed to have rain. We'll see what the weather does. So tomorrow afternoon, if we have no rain, what I might do is pull some weeds and plant a few seeds before the rain starts back up again on Wednesday, Thursday. Because while I can, I need to be outside, but also while it's cool, I would love to be inside doing some of these projects, and while it's raining, getting some of these projects done. One of the things I really have to do is organize the garage. We have not fully organized it since we moved in, and now we're getting into the holiday stuff, and I need it organized so I can put gardening stuff in certain places, seasonal stuff I still have to go through, just all of that. Lots of behind the scenes stuff that nobody wants to see on video. An easy way to do this can be to wash these two, and a lot of times the seeds will float. Some of these seeds don't look super formed, so I don't know how they're going to taste per se. You could try to save these and plant a seed and see if you get the same plant. Most likely though, you're not going to. A lot of times in pumpkin fields, you have a lot of different varieties growing next to each other, and they're going to get cross-pollinated by the bees. So your seeds won't be true to the variety. You'll have some sort of a cross. I mean, it's worth it. You could try it. Most of them are going to be edible. You'll know if it doesn't taste good. So that's something to always look at if you're saving seeds. If you want true to variety, you need to make sure you're doing protected manual pollination, so that way things aren't getting mixed, getting cross-pollinated. If you have animals, chickens, pigs, anything like that, feed this to them. I do not, so I'm unfortunately tossing it. The pumpkins actually are really good for parasite cleanse, and so making sure your animals have some, from what I understand, is very, very good, and it's very good for you to have some too. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this down. So hopefully I don't dye this orange. So I'm not going to put the lid on these quite yet because they need to finish cooling. I want the moisture to come out of them. But I need this pan. So, put my cinnamon sticks in here. So the fun part about this is now you can make extract, you can make the cinnamon powder, you can do whatever you want with this. And it's just amazing. Oh, I still have some butter out here. Sweet. Ooh, this pan is hot. It's melting the butter. So my secret to focaccia not sticking is butter on the bottom of the pan. I'm actually going to do a combo because a friend gave me some basil infused olive oil, and so I think I'm going to take this and do avocado first and then drizzle the top with this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dump in I feel like I got my water to flour ratio messed up last night, but it's still good. It's just a little different. I forgot to change my scale, is what it was. And when I did that, this is definitely a higher hydration loaf. We're going to see if I like a higher hydration loaf or not. I'm not doing anything fancy to this. I do feel like this is like super poofy and super, so we'll see. Maybe I'm gonna like it. The texture is very different than what I'm used to. I'm gonna top with some garlic. Again, I don't care if I get this oil in here because I'm using oil anyway and it's just going to enhance the garlic flavor. I'm trying to stock up my freezer with focaccia because when we have people over, this goes with so many different meals and everybody loves it. And so I froze some of the last stuff I made. We're already eating that because it was a super hot day and I didn't want to make bread. So I figured make another batch and then have it ready. Plus we have soup tonight. Flaky salt. It smells really good. Okay, so it's topped with that. Once the pumpkin's ready to come out, then I will pop this in the oven at the correct temperature. Definitely need to eat something because it's almost 12 and haven't eaten anything except for coffee. That's drinking, but so I'm going to go ahead and do some. Ooh, that was a lot of yogurt. Some yogurt. 3/4 of a cup. That's about what I got. Maybe a little more. 6 grams of protein. I'm going to drizzle some of this local honey in here. So I need to take some. A few of those blueberries that we had frozen together. I need to start making my own granola because these have some ingredients that I'm not super like thrilled with, but they're really good. So I want some that I really enjoy that are still healthier without like canola oil and stuff. I'm gonna go enjoy my breakfast. When the squash is done, I'm going to pop it out of the oven. Change of plans for lunch at work because I'm not going to have time to make the soup. This pumpkin is much thicker than the last ones I've done, and I probably should have chunked it up smaller because it's been about an hour and it is still not done. So I'd rather play it safe than sorry and make another lunch because that is better than going through a drive-thru. And I am trying to get myself, when things don't work out like this and so forth, to not do the drive-thru. So we're making tuna. Some mayo in here. Oh, it's gonna be the last of my mayo. I gotta get some avocado mayo. Relish. I'm gonna add some seasoned salt. I need to get this transferred over to a jar. I finally ran out of my one in the jar. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of garlic and onion powder. Just doing a little bit, not a ton. Don't want it to overpower. And then some smoked paprika. That's what I'm alone when eating this. Well, and my husband. We're fine. So I'm going to fill up a good serving of this tuna. I'm going to even these out a little bit. So I don't have an option. I'm going to have to take that pumpkin out of the oven. That way I can get the bread in, because this bread needs to bake. I can't hold off till another 8 hours, which is unfortunate right now. I usually would be like, scratch this video, I'm going to record something else. But I want to show you guys real life. And when you're trying to do from scratch cooking and you have a time frame, you're working a full-time job, you have things that come up. I had to go drive by my husband's work and drop him off something. I turned off the alarm this morning and went back to sleep. Not wise. Life happens. So what are we going to do with it? So this will probably be a part 1 video, and then there's going to be a part 2 video of picking up the pieces. Okay, so the bread is in. The timer is set for 30 minutes. I have to walk out in 35 minutes. So I'm going to go change my clothes, allow this to cool down a little bit, and then come back and assess the situation. These have to get into the fridge before I go to work. That bread has to come out of the oven and get covered before I go to work. So I'm going to leave you here. I'm going to go run and get changed. Ooh, buddy. Come on now. There we go. Oh, come on. Don't make a mess. Don't make a mess. Well, this isn't too bad. It's not quite as soft as I wanted it to be, but it's still, the knife's going all, the butter knife's going all the way through. And there's parts of this that are collapsing. So this is a good sign. Good sign. This is definitely a watery pumpkin, which I wasn't quite expecting. You never know how watery the pumpkins are going to be. This is being difficult to flip. I'm wondering if they would have cooked faster if I would have had them up like this versus tapped down. Let's see. I have another pumpkin that I still need to cook. And so I may try it the opposite way. Oh yeah, that looks yummy. So this needs to cool down. Oh yeah, this one's doing really good. I don't know what the deal is then. This one just doesn't seem as far. I really need this to cool down. I'm always in a pickle. That's a good tasting pumpkin. So we get our herbs bulk from Azure Standard, and I buy my seasoned salt 1 pound at a time. And this is pink Himalayan sea salt, sugar, paprika, chili, pepper, spices including celery seed, garlic, and onion. So 1 pound fits in this jar pretty darn good. And this is what I like on my eggs and all that kind of stuff. Anything where I want that peppery, garlicky onion. I love this seasoned salt. So I'm going to show you something that is definitely not best practice to do. I want to get these out of this pan. Preferably you would have a stainless steel or glass bowl. This is my largest bowl. This is a huge pumpkin. And so I need this to really start cooling down even more, and I need the ability to put it into the fridge. I do not want to put these glass pans in the fridge right now. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do, as this has been cooling, it's still cooking, and it's actually, I think we're done enough that I can do all my projects with it. This one, I wish it would have cooked a little bit more on this top part of the pumpkin where it's thicker, but I think it's going to be just fine. So I'm going to try to pick this up and put this in and hopefully not get pumpkin all over my work clothes. Okay. This isn't going to be perfect, but it is going to hopefully work. This half was definitely more cooked. It's kind of crazy to me how much more it was cooked. Get it up enough that I can hold it with the hot pad and not burn my hands. And this half is going in here. There we go. I'm going to turn this so it's easy to put in again at the angle I need to. Going. Leak all over. I really don't want this leaking all over in the fridge. Alright. So, I'm going to cover this and pop this in the fridge. Again, not the perfect thing. It is going to drop the temperature of the refrigerator as it's cooling down. The refrigerator I'm putting this in, that is fine right now. It will catch up. And I don't think I'm going to risk anything spoiling. So we should be good. But I'm going to go ahead and get this covered up. Woo. And that's it for today. I'm going to get this covered, let it cool. My husband can have this tonight with something, and actually he can have this with a tuna if he wants and make a tuna sandwich. But I'm going to go ahead and head off to work. Please stay tuned for part 2. It's not always this chaotic, but there is a balance between trying to shuffle things between doing homemade and living a slow life while still living a fast-paced life with the rest of the world. So I hope that you come back and see what I do with that pumpkin, and we'll see you on the next video.